everyone, welcome to Vysh's YouTube channel, to the Indian Society lecture series. We are in the episode 11 of Indian Society lecture series. So after a long time we are meeting again. So I hope you all have done your prelims very good, because if you are a Vysh student you can easily do it, because many of the questions were directly and indirectly, if you apply logic, were from our test series. And also if you watch our regular classes also, you will be able to solve the questions. For example, from the Indian Society lectures itself. Actually, Indian Society is a part of mains, but it also helped in solving one question in prelims also. Let's see that, which is that question. We have even posted this question in the community tab. So you can see here, which one of the following best defines the term state? So option A, they gave the community of the persons permanently occupying a definite territory, independent of external control and possessing an organized government. Okay. In option B, they gave a politically organized people of a definite territory and possessing an authority to govern them, the maintaining law and order, protect the natural rights and safeguard the means of sustenance. Option C, they gave a number of persons who have been living in a definite territory for a very long time with their own culture, tradition and government. Society permanently living in a definite territory with a central authority, an executive responsible to a central authority and an independent judiciary. So if you see the episode 1 itself of Indian Society lectures, we have discussed the what is state. We have discussed about what is state. I have told you 4 conditions to be called an area as a state. For example, I have told it should have a territory, it should have a people, it should have a government, and it should be free from the sovereignty. That is, it should be free from the external control. That means the area should have a sovereignty. So this is what mentioned in the option A, right? So the community of a person permanently occupying a definite territory, it means it should have a territory and it should have people, community of people, and it should be free from the or independent from the external control. It means that the area should be sovereign. And I have also told you about it should have the government. So you can easily answer this question if you have seen the Indian Society lecture series. So start watching the Indian Society lecture series. They are very, very helpful even for your prelims point of view. So you can attempt some questions through our series also. So if you have attempted this question in your prelims exam, comment in the comment section. Okay. Today we are going to start a new topic, that is regionalism. In the last topics or in the last classes we have completed the communalism. So today we will be starting regionalism. Okay. Let's start the video now. So, before starting what is regionalism, let's learn what is region. What is a region? Okay. So, the region is very difficult to define. So, as we have seen, the concept of state was asked in a prelims question. As a prelims question, there is a possibility that the concept of region can also be asked in the prelims question. So, listen carefully each and every term that I am explaining in the classes. Okay. So, what is region is a basic question. Actually, the region term is very difficult to decide, because region, the definition of the region differs from area to area. Okay, generally it is defined as it is a homogeneous area with distinct physical and cultural characteristics from those of the neighboring areas. So, region is nothing but it is a homogeneous area with the distinct physical and the cultural characteristics. So, physical is nothing but, for example, a geography. They will have a common geographical area, and they will have a common cultural characteristics which are distinct from those of the neighboring areas. So, they are very different from the neighboring areas, but they have a homogeneous area with distinct physical and cultural characteristics. So, if these conditions are satisfied, that area can be treated as a region. Okay. It gives the sense of togetherness among the people, because they will have a common physical and the cultural characteristics or the cultural background. And because of the geography, topography, region, language, customs, history and everything, they can be having a sense of togetherness between them. So, region will have people with the sense of togetherness because of the common geography, topography, religion, language, customs which are distinct from those of the neighboring areas. Okay. So, region is the basis for the emergence of the regional identity. So, regional identity is emerged because of the concept of region itself. Region results in the loyalty towards a region and takes the shape of the regionalism. So, from the region, the regionalism will get emerged when people of the region will have a loyalty towards the region more than that of the country. Okay, when they have loyalty towards the region more than that of the country, it results into regionalism. And it will also, the regionalism will also lead to the regional politics. So regional politics will get emerged because of the regionalism. And politics of the regionalism will have both positive aspects and the negative aspects. Now let's see what are the positive aspects of the politics of regionalism. So, it implies intense desire for concretizing an identity based on such interest as ethnic, language, etc. So, as they will have a common ethnic groups, common languages, common tribes, regions, religion, and all, they will have a sense of identity with them. For example, if you see the Jharkhand movement was happened in the Bihar, Orissa, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh. These people who have the common culture, common background or common historical sense, they unified to protect and promote a socio-economic and political interest. In order to promote their social, economic and political interest, they have unified to protect that. Okay, these Jharkhand movement led to the government reorganization of states and farming. Because of this movement, there is a emergence of the Jharkhand state. A new Jharkhand state was emerged in 2015 November as the 28th state of the Indian Union because of the sense of identity, because of the sense of unification. This they unified together to protect their economic and social interest, because of which 28th state of the Indian Union was emerged. It was actually a part of Bihar before, but it was carved out after the movement. Okay. And now let's see some of the negative aspects. It can threaten the national building effects. For example, if you have more loyalty towards the state, there is a concept of patriotism towards the country and patriotism of the states. It will be more for the state than that of the country, which results in the imbalance, and it will also result into threatening of the national building effects. There won't be any unity as a nation. So for example, you can see the Khalistan movement in Punjab. Khalistan movement really emerged the concept of terrorism and violence inside and outside the Punjab itself. Okay, this is one of the negative aspect of the politics of regionalism. In spite of the negative aspects, like regionalism is also emerging not only because of the loyalty towards the own region, but also because of the income inequalities and deprivation of the one region towards the other region. For example, there are two regions, A and B. Let's think. So if the region A is having more income and region B is having less income, and it is region A is dominating the region B in all the aspects, this will lead to the concept of this will lead to the region B people will obviously revolt for more welfare scheme activities. They wanted more freedom, they wanted many reservations and all, right? This will lead to the regionalism concept. Because of the economic deprivation, also because of the income inequalities, also regionalism concept will emerge sometimes. So now let's see what is regionalism. What is the definition of regionalism? We have discussed what is region, right? Now let's discuss what is regionalism. Actually, it is a phenomena in which people's political loyalties become focused more upon the region. I have told you, right? The loyalties, it is not localities, it is loyalties of people towards the region will become more than that of the country as a whole. People's love for a particular region is in preference to the country. So in preference to the country, they will give more preference to the region. Their love towards the region is more than that of the love towards the country. In this cases, regionalism will emerge. So regionalism is a result because of the India's diversities in languages, cultures, tribes, ethnic groups, and many more. There is a lot of diversity in India. We have studied before, right? There is a lot of diversity. India is called as a land of diversity. Because of this diverse languages, cultures, tribes, religions and all, the concept of regionalism has emerged. It was also because of the regional deprivation also regionalism has emerged. These are some of the reasons. So now let's see some of the characteristics of the regionalism. Regionalism is conditioned by social, economic, political and cultural disparities. So I have told you there is a disparities among one region from another region based on the economic, social, political and cultural interests. So regionalism is actually a cyclic phenomena because they will have a psychological attachment towards their own state or own region. This leads to the regionalism concept. So this is a psychic phenomena. We can call it as a psychic phenomena. It prohibits people from other regions to get benefit by a particular region. Obviously, when some other guy from other part of a region comes to your own region and exploits the resources, or if he is getting benefit out of the resources of your state or your region, will obviously revolt, right. You will obviously revolt, because of which the other person from the other state is not getting benefit from your region, because you wanted your people to get benefit more than that of the person who is coming from outside. Okay, this is the one of the characteristic of the regionalism. Another characteristic is it gave rise to the development in one's own region without taking the consideration the interest of the others. So we won't care about the other region. If you are belonging to some state, you want your state to get developed, you won't concern about the other state, right? Okay, you won't concern about the other state. You will demand for the railway station in your state, or you will demand for the shopping malls in your state. You want development in your state, you won't care for the other state. So this is what the regionalism is. It is based on the expression of group identity and loyalty towards a region. So it is because of the loyalty towards your own region, love towards your own region, in preference to, like, you are giving more preference to a region than that of the country. And it will also give the group identity. You will have that identity, you will like belonging to the you will have that love towards your own people who are staying in the same region. You will have that identity. Like, for example, I am a if I am belonging to Telangana, I will have that identity that I am belonging to Telangana, I am a citizen of Telangana. Maybe I won't have any citizenship of Telangana, but I will have that identity in me that I belong to so and so state. So this is what a regionalism is. Regionalism in Indian politics. Okay, it is a concept of the pre-independence phenomena itself, but it became popular in the post-independence period. Actually, in the pre-independence period, the concept of regionalism was started with the implementation of the constitutional reforms. We can see the concept of regionalism in the Government of India Act of 1909, 1919 and 1935. If you have read the polity acts, okay, you will know about the concept of the regionalisms in the 1909, 1919 and 1935 acts. And you can also see the concept of regionalisms in when there is a establishment of Justice Party in Chennai, Akhali Dal in Punjab. These are some of them which have regionalism concepts in the pre-independence period. Now let's see what are the regionalism we have seen in the post-independence period. There are four types, four categories under which we have seen the concept of regionalism in India after the independence. So first we have seen when there is a establishment of the democratic form of the government. Actually, the main aim was the nation building on the principles of democracy, secularism, national unity and social justice. All the parts of the country wanted a fair deal in nation building. They started competing with each other for their development, right? Anything short of expectation led to disenchantment, and it resulted into the emergence of regional politics. So when the expectations are not met from the people by the people of that particular region, this will lead to some chaos, and it will lead to the emergence of the regional politics, and it will rise to give the regionalism concept in the in the post-independence period. And we have also seen the integration of the princely states. We have discussed this in the post-independence Indian history lecture series also. If you have seen them, you will know this. Small states were actually integrated with the big states. Okay, people continued to nurse loyalties to old territorial units. This was the most important factor for the success of the princes in elections. The princes often received overwhelming support in their former territories in the newly created states and relatively much less in the other parts of same states. So integration of princely states also led to the development of the regionalism. And you will also see the reorganization of the states on the linguistic basis. It played a very vital role in the development of the regional politics, because in 28 states were reshaped and reduced to 14 states along with the centrally administered territories, right? Later new states were created. For example, you can say Bombay was divided into Gujarat and Maharashtra, Punjab was divided into Punjab and Haryana, but these states were not constituted entirely on linguistic basis. Many other factors like ethnic economic consideration gave us Nagaland, Manipur, Tripura, Meghalaya, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, etc. Language cum cultural factors created Maharashtra, Gujarat, Uttaranchal. Historical and political factors are also responsible for the creation of the Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and etc. Right? Integration of princely states in and need for viable groupings gave birth to Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. And because of the language and social distinctiveness, there is a creation of Tamil Nadu, Bengal, Orissa, Mysore. So the various factors have led to play a decisive role in the composition of the Indian Federation. In spite of all these considerations, language remained the most important factor in the reorganization of the state. It became such an important force that in the context of regionalism, the linguistic regionalism gained ground in the Indian politics. So we can say reorganization of the states on the linguistic basis played a major role in the rise of the regionalism based on the language. And coming to the personal and the selfish ends of the politicians, this is almost a common after the independence, right? This is one of the factors which gave rise to the regionalism and parochial tendencies in the country. Immediately after the independence, the struggle for power started among some parties for enhancing their own authority and prestige, right? You have studied this in the post-independence period. And because of the creation of more states, it led to more governors, more chief ministers, member of legislative assemblies were more created because of the creation of more and more states. The professional politicians explored the narrow and sectarian sentiments of ignorant masses for fulfilling their own personal and the selfish ends. So this all led to the regionalism. They wanted their selfish desires to be achieved, because of which they have inbuilt the concept of regionalisms in the minds of the people. So these are all the some of the factors which led to the regionalism in India after the independence period. So I hope you have liked this today's lecture. We'll be continuing this regionalism concept in the next lecture. Okay, we'll be studying the basis of the regionalism, and we'll also see other concepts like forms of the regionalism, positive impacts of the regionalism, negative impacts of regionalism, and we'll also see, is regionalism a threat to national integration. These are some of the concepts which we'll be seeing in the regionalism. Then we'll be completing this topic, and next we'll be jumping to other topic. Okay, in the 1 or 2 classes we'll be completing this topic, so make notes out of them, revise them. You will not forget the concept if you revise. Write the running notes. Okay, take care guys. Thank you. Bye bye. Keep smiling.